So Oakland Leaks was telling a story about a guy named Juancho. I don't want to use the man's footage or his audio like that because it's in Spanish. So he told a story of a guy named Juancho. Juancho was supposed to be the generation beneath Chapo, basically the twins generation, maybe a generation above him. He was like Chapo's right-hand man, the guy that facilitated everything Chapo needed. You know, he handled all Chapo's problems, took care of his business, and then did business of his own. Had his own fronts, would get his own work from Chapo, all of that. So he had a bunch of shit happening too, and the guy had a lot of juice. The twins worked with this guy. They also testified against him in Illinois. There's a list right there. Joaquín Guzmán Loera, Ismael Zambada García, Jesús Vicente Zambada Niebla, Alfredo Guzmán Salazar, Alfredo Vázquez Hernández, first name unknown, last name unknown, a.k.a. Juancho. That's the guy we're talking about in this conversation. Germán Olivares, Felipe, last name unknown, Thomas Arrevalo Renteria, Pedro Flores, Margarito Flores. Grand jury. This guy Juancho that everybody did business with and everybody liked, at some point, he started feeling like Damaso, which is Mini League's father, he started feeling like Damaso was getting closer to the old man, taking a little bit of his shine. And from my understanding is he was a little loose at the mouth, the way people talk to people. And, you know, if you notice in these Mexican cartels, now I don't know if there's another reason for it, but you notice a lot of them are named girl names for their nicknames, right? To me, that comes in jest. That comes in busting balls, I guess, brotherhood, right? But that whole fraternity is the kind of brotherhood that treats their brother like shit. Does that make sense? So they give each other a bunch of girl nicknames. That's basically what I pull from it. Everything is funny. So sometimes you could get loose at the mouth, and I guess every now and then Chapo would feel like, and people would feel like, this Juancho dude be loose at the mouth. Maybe not just him, maybe a whole bunch of people, right? But started to seem as if he was losing his spot. And now I could be butchering this story. You guys go to Oakland Leaks and check it out over there for the detailed version. So evidently, Vicente, which is Mayo's son, and Juancho are very tight. And that brings up things where sometimes maybe Chapo feels like Vicente wants to take a shot at him too, you know what I'm saying? But again, these are all things that are running through a paranoid man's head all the time anyway, you know what I mean? Bet. Time passes or whatever. Juancho's job is getting cut a little shorter and shorter, and he has less to do with what he used to have to do with. And Damaso's father, El Licenciado, is getting these positions and these opportunities. And he's noticing it. So at some point, Juancho flips. Supposedly, Juancho's making a deal where he would be able to come to the U.S., live in the U.S., keep his money, and have immunity. Juancho got the best deal, it seems. I was like, damn, what was he giving up? If they were going to give him all that, what was he giving up? But according to this story, that's what he was going to do. He was going to give up everything. Or he was going to get everything, keep money, and just live on the U.S. side. And I believe the twins were already in the midst of their 7-month undercover fucking operation, and Juancho was on his, right? Nobody knew the wiser. So boom, dude's running his investigation. Time goes on, he's getting his money, he's doing his thing. He does something that Chapo don't like. He smoked somebody that Chapo did not want him to smoke. And when they ask him about it, he gives them his story, but it's like they kind of know he's bullshitting. Chapo clips his wings even more, kind of separates himself even more. There's another guy called the Doctor. Is a confidant of everybody, of Juancho, of Chapo. So this guy, he knows shit. He talks to people. So now let's talk about another guy. There's a guy named El Güerito. He was a beloved character, a dude that had balls, pretty boy. They clowned him for being a pretty boy, you know what I'm saying? Nice guy, but did his job, you know what I'm saying? People liked him. He seemed to be a well-liked individual. As Chapo's moving around, he's just getting hunted down, man. Everywhere he leaves, everywhere he's at, they come and they're on him. They're on his ass. They're trying to figure out, man, how these fools know what's happening, where we're at. And at some point, I don't remember who it was, possibly Damaso. Now, mind you, they've been having conversations with people, and they'll hear things like, so-and-so said this about you, Chapo, and so-and-so said this about you, and Vicente said this, and this is how Juancho talks about you. And Chapo asked, like, well, in what context? How did he say it? You know what I mean? Because context means everything, right? He'd be like, nah, That's my friend. You know, that's how we talk. This is how we do things. All that talking's going around or whatever. And then somebody entrusted to Chapo, it might have been Damaso, tells him, man, bro, I mean, you know who was there? It was your boy Juancho. Now, mind you, he's Chapo's cousin, like a relative, right? So Chapo gives him grace. He just separates from him when he's, disgusted with him for what he hears or how he acts, right? So Chapo's hearing these things and he's like, listen, we need 100% proof if we're going to do something to Juancho. That's my cousin, the family. I'd have to deal with the family after that. That would be a big problem if my cousin is the one ratting me out. So they start running tests to send them off, telling them they're going to be in one place and being at another. And when that spot gets hit, they chalk it up to him. At some point in the story, the doctor, the confidant of everybody that they talk to, I forget his position in it. Again, I'm just telling this story secondhand because I don't want to just take dude's content, even since it's Spanish, and just, do that. Y'all can go to his channel and get the detailed breakdown. He has subtitles there that you can read, right? Boom. So the doctor calls everybody, says, Chapo, the feds are coming. So you need to get Juancho and Vicente and everybody and tell them to get from where they're at because the feds are coming to Culiacan, right? He's like, cool. Even he calls Juancho and everybody and says, yo, we got to get out of here. Y'all got to get out of here. They're coming for you. Boom, boom, boom. This was a guy that would get information, right? He had a government connect. Government connect gave him the information. He calling them to get him out of there. Boom, everybody moves. Everybody makes their move. Early morning hours, they knock on his door, snatch him up. This idiot never thought they'd be coming for him. He was in Culiacan. Dude told him, like, bro, I told you they were coming. He's like, I never imagined they were coming for me. I didn't know I had nothing to do with this. So that sounds ridiculous, but that was part of the story, right? So everybody that made their move. So now Chapo done got himself to a point where Chapo got enough evidence as far as he's concerned, like, yeah, it was him. And somebody got eyes on him. He's supposed to be somewhere. He didn't go there. Gave Chapo whatever reason. Now somebody sees him somewhere else. They peep him somewhere else. They say, all right, we need confirmation that's him. They send somebody over there for confirmation. They get confirmation. They send these dudes, these Oso brothers, Oso Nosito, to go snatch him up. They report to Chapo and they say, we see him. He's sitting at a table in a parking lot with a computer with a couple guys around him. They send this little squad to go snatch him up. They jump out. They snatch him up. At the same time that they snatch him up, he's there with Guerito, the beloved, well-respected one that people thought was a cool dude, and they messed with him, right? Unfortunately, Guerito liked to shine. Guerito crawled under a car when this was all going down. They were snatching him up, but these guys peeped his watch, saw that he had some stuff that they can rifle his pockets for, right? So they go to snatch him, and the big homie tell him, listen, they told us to get Juancho. That's it. But buddy that wants to steal his watch is like, yeah, but this guy looks important. Maybe we should just take him too. So they snatch him up too. Now they're in the van. Juancho is yelling at these masked men, who do you work for? Who do you work for? Who do you work for? And I don't remember if one of them said he was with the government or if Juancho said, are y'all with the government? He said, y'all with the government? Well, I'm with y'all. So get your boss on the phone. Let me talk to him. Not realizing these Chapo's men, he sent these dudes. The whole time he's telling them, who do you work for? Who do you work for? Get your boss on the phone. I'm one of them. Then he realizes that they're not. And he's begging, who you work for? Who you work for? And then he's like, I believe he said Damaso sent you, didn't he? Or Chapo sent you, didn't he? And then he started telling, oh, you don't know this about him and this about him. So he outed himself, whatever. The whole time, though, he's doing that. Guerito's sitting there saying, bro, I ain't got nothing to do with this. Tell them I ain't got nothing to do with this. He's telling Guerito to shut up. Guerito's telling him, bro, tell these fools. And he's like, nah, shut up. And he's like, tell these fools I got nothing to do with it. They get to Chapo. They deliver these guys to Chapo. They take them back to the place. He shows you the video that Chapo had dude tied to the pillar. In that, it looked like a carport. And it was a video that Juancho had filmed. They say Juancho filmed that video. For me, that was kind of like learning that Big L was holding the video camera when DMX and Jay-Z battled in the Harlem Pool Hall. Juancho was holding the camera when Chapo was interrogating this dude, and he was getting video while it looked like he was texting, but he was videotaping Chapo, right? So he was already cooperating against Chapo. But anyways, they get to Chapo and they tell Chapo, we got these fools. He's like, yeah? He's like, yeah, what do you want us to do? He was like, man, end them. I mean, They're like, you don't want to say nothing to him? No, I don't even want to see his face. Chapo didn't even want to see his face. Then they said, man, but they got this Guero dude. He's saying he ain't got nothing to do with it. He said, do him too. No reason. No logical reason. He already seen what he seen. Whatever. Word gets back to El Mini League, right? And Mini League goes and tries to put a word in for Guerito, and he gets a no. They're like, no, he's a no-go. He's seen too much already. Too many questions. Disappearing both. And Buddy got killed for nothing. Smoked for nothing. Just for being there. Wrong place, wrong time. Even had somebody come and try to vouch for him and get him freed. Threw him to the wolves. He was nothing. Piece of meat. Maybe the one guy who they say is a great guy, Juancho, right? Maybe that guy had it coming because he was cooperating, right? But the other dude was just there, wrong place, wrong time. They snatched him up. It's a dirty game. So at the beginning of this episode, this guy right here, he said, but I want to take a minute and I want to have a shot for El Guerito. And he had a shot for him. Because he wasn't supposed to die. And that's why that bastard is rotting in the ADX. When he was speaking about Chapo. So these guys have a deep-seated vendetta with this man. As far as they're concerned, he's the enemy. But people are disposable in that game. So for all of you people that have a side and have a person that you're rooting for, the anti-heroes, man. They done sold you a Tony Montana flick. It's all entertainment. Somebody's real life at the bottom of that cavern. Somebody's real life at the bottom of that ditch. And then supposedly they stole all Juancho's money. His wife supposedly ended up with nothing and didn't want no more drama. And there's a whole lot to the story. We're gonna ask the twins about them if they ever come back on, when they come back on, and we'll talk about it from there. If you want to know it in detail, but you guys can go to Oakland Leaks. As a matter of fact, let me pin this video up in the chat so y'all can check out that video and listen to it in detail. He breaks down the story, but again, these guys are his enemy. They ain't they're not here to sugarcoat shit. So these guys are not his friends. They're not here to tell stories about your hero that you're gonna like. As far as they're concerned, they got themselves from under his thumb. Bushai, you're making reasons. You're reasoning for why they decided to save their own life. They didn't rob a fucking liquor store. They didn't rob Ram's liquor store and then rat each other out. You know what I'm saying? That shit up there is different. It's different. They throw that shit around like nothing. Turn them over. Sell them out. Or smoke them. See, that's humanity. Humanity rather have blood anyway. That's why people hated the ending of The Sopranos. Y'all wanted to see his head split. That's it. Just fall into your savageness. Own it. But yeah, y'all. So make sure y'all go to Oakland Leaks channel and check out that story. It's a great story.